I walked into my husband's office to surprise him with lunch. But when I opened the door, I heard his secretary giggle, "Your wife will never know." Heart pounding, I hid and started recording. When he kissed her, I stepped out and said, "I'd love to hear more about that." His secretary screamed, he stumbled, and then I pulled out something that left him begging. I don't even know where to begin. My hands are still shaking as I type this. I've been married to Mark for 18 years. I'm 44, he's 46. We live in Dallas, Texas. We have 2 kids, teenagers. Our lives have been what I thought was normal. Not perfect, but stable. Mark works downtown at a financial firm. He's always been career-focused. Late nights, business trips, meetings that run over. I never questioned it. He never gave me a reason to doubt him. We met in college, started from scratch, built our life together. I gave up my job to raise the kids full-time when they were little. Now they're older and I've been doing part-time work at a local boutique. Life was fine. Or so I thought. So this happened last Friday. I decided to do something nice, something small but sweet. He'd been working extra hard lately, or at least that's what he told me. Said the markets were unstable and he had new clients. He looked tired. I felt guilty for not doing more. That morning, I got up early and made his favorite chicken salad. Toasted bread, lemonade with a little mint in it, just how he likes it. I packed it in a lunch bag and headed downtown around noon. Thought I'd drop it off, maybe sit with him for a few minutes, give him a little break. When I got to the building, I waved at the receptionist. She knows me, and she smiled and said Mark was in his office. Said Rachel was with him. I didn't think anything of it. Rachel is his secretary. She's in her 20s, always perfectly done up, heels too high for an office job if you ask me, but I kept that to myself. I walked down the hallway toward his office. The door was mostly closed, not fully latched. That's when I heard it. Laughter. A woman's giggle. At first, I didn't even think it was weird. I assumed they were just talking about something light. Then I heard her say it, clear as day. "Your wife will never know." I froze. My chest felt like it dropped into my stomach. I stood there, absolutely still, not breathing. Then he laughed. Mark laughed. I know that laugh. That deep, stupid chuckle he does when he thinks he's being clever. My hands started to shake. I backed up a little, just enough so I wasn't visible. I pulled out my phone. My heart was pounding so hard I could barely press the record button. But I did. I hit record and held it up. Through the small crack in the door, I could see enough. Mark was leaning on the edge of his desk. Rachel was in front of him, too close. His hand was on her hip. She was smiling up at him like they were in some movie. He said something I couldn't hear. She laughed again and put her hand on his chest. Then he kissed her. He kissed her. Not a friendly peck. Not a mistake. It was intentional. It was long. It was the kind of kiss you give someone you want. Not your coworker. Not someone you say good morning to and move on. I kept recording. I didn't even realize my hand was gripping the lunch bag, so tight it was crumpling. My mouth went dry. Everything inside me screamed, go in there. Scream. Smash something. But I didn't. I waited. After the kiss, he said, "No one will find out. I've been careful." And Rachel, she smiled and said, "Your wife is probably at Target or something." That's when I lost it. I pushed the door open fast, walked in, and said, "I'd love to hear more about that." Rachel jumped back like I'd set the room on fire. Mark's face went pale. He looked like a kid caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Neither of them said a word. I pulled out my phone, stopped the video, and held it up. Mark tried to speak. I cut him off. "Save it. I've got everything I need." I dropped the lunch bag on the desk. It fell on its side, spilling the lemonade. I didn't care. Rachel looked at me like I was the crazy one. Like I had ruined her day. She said, "This isn't what it looks like." I looked at her and said, "You really think I'm that stupid?" She didn't answer. just backed away and grabbed her purse. I could hear her heels clicking down the hallway as she left. Mark stayed silent, mouth open, hands out like he was pleading with invisible words. I walked out, didn't say another word, got in my car, drove. I didn't even know where I was going at first. Just drove. I ended up at a park. Sat there for maybe an hour. Deleted and rewatched the video 3 times. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. Later that night, Mark came home. I was in the bedroom, sitting on the edge of the bed. He came in, closed the door like he was scared the kids would hear us. He looked broken. He started in with the usual. It was a mistake. It didn't mean anything. Please let me explain. I let him talk. But the whole time, I didn't say a word. I just kept looking at him, watching him squirm. Then I asked him how long it had been going on. He said a few weeks. I knew he was lying. Then I asked him if he ever brought her into our house when I was out. That shut him up. He said, of course not. But he said it too fast. I told him I was going to stay at my sister's. Told him I needed time. He asked if I was going to tell the kids. I didn't answer. I packed a bag, grabbed my purse, and left. And that's where I'm at. I haven't told the kids yet. I haven't told anyone else besides my sister. I haven't filed for divorce, but I did call a lawyer this morning. Just to talk. Just to understand my options. I don't know what's going to happen next. I just know things will never be the same again. So, it's Saturday now. I spent the night at my sister Melanie's house. She didn't ask many questions. Just hugged me and said, whatever you need, you've got it. I couldn't even cry. It's like I was stuck in this weird quiet space where nothing felt real. Like I'd woken up in someone else's life. This morning, I finally checked my phone. 3 missed calls from Mark. 1 voicemail. He sounded like a wreck. Said he was sorry, said he loved me, said he'd quit his job if that's what it took. Quit his job? The job he loved more than anything? The job he used to say defined him? That didn't sit right. So I called the firm's main line. Asked for someone in HR. I used a fake voice, low and calm, and said I was Rachel's cousin, looking to get in touch with her. You know what they told me? She's no longer employed here. That was fast. Then I asked, casually, oh, did she quit? And the woman said, she was let go as of this morning. I said thank you and hung up. Then it hit me Mark was trying to cover his ass. He'd fired her. Or someone had. Probably hoping if she was out of the picture, the problem would disappear. But it gets worse. I opened our shared laptop. I wasn't even snooping, honestly. I just needed to pay a bill and my login wasn't working. So I used his. And when I clicked into his browser history, there it was. A private Gmail account. Not his regular one. When I typed it into the login screen, it auto-filled the email and saved the password. He was still logged in. And what I found made my stomach twist. Hundreds of emails. Some with Rachel, yes. But also with someone else. A woman named Chelsea. I didn't recognize the name. The emails went back months. Some were short, just quick, can't wait to see you later messages. Others were more graphic? Too graphic. I stopped reading halfway through one and had to walk away. Mark had another affair. Maybe more than one. Rachel wasn't the only one. I scrolled back. The first email with Chelsea was dated nearly a year ago. A year. While I was planning our family vacation to Destin. While I was cooking his birthday dinner. While I was driving our daughter to her first job interview, and he said he was working late. That's when I started to unravel. I called Melanie into the room, showed her the screen. She didn't say anything for a second, then just said, "You need a lawyer." "A good one." I nodded. But I wasn't done yet. I forwarded the emails to myself. Then I clicked through his folders, and that's when I found the receipts. Hotel bookings. Restaurant dinners I never went to. Even a flight to Chicago. He said it was for a conference last fall. But there was a receipt for a dinner for 2 at some fancy rooftop bar, 2 days before he came home. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I'd been played. For years. And I still hadn't told the kids. A few hours later, I finally picked up the phone. I texted Mark, "We need to talk. I'm coming home. Don't say a word until I'm finished." I drove back to the house. It felt surreal pulling into the driveway, like I was visiting someone else's home. When I walked in, Mark was in the living room, looking like hell. He stood up fast. I raised my hand and said, "Sit." He sat. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I just said, "How long were you going to keep lying?" Because Rachel wasn't the only one, was she? He opened his mouth, but I cut him off again. I pulled up the emails on my phone. His face dropped. I kept going. I listed the dates, the dinners, the flight, the hotel room 2 blocks from his office. I asked him if Chelsea was just a mistake too. He didn't deny it. Just sat there with his face in his hands, shaking. I told him I was done listening, that he didn't get to decide what happened next. And just as I was walking toward the stairs to pack the rest of my things, the front door opened. It was our son, Tyler. He's 17. He looked at both of us and said, "What's going on?" Mark stood up, about to speak, but I turned to Tyler and said, "We'll talk later." Then I looked at Mark and said, "You can explain this to your son when I'm gone. Or I will. Either way, the truth's coming out." Then I went upstairs. I'm writing this now from Melanie's guest room. The kids are still at the house. I haven't spoken to my daughter yet. She's 15, and I don't even know how to tell her. Mark keeps texting. He wants one more chance. He says he'll go to therapy, he'll quit his job, he'll sell the house if I want. But here's the twist I didn't expect. Rachel messaged me. From a new email. Said she got my contact from a shared work doc. And she said, "You don't know the half of it." I haven't opened her full message yet. But I will. And when I do, I think I'll finally understand what kind of man I really married. So yeah, I opened Rachel's message. I sat there for a full 5 minutes before clicking on it. My heart was racing. I didn't know what to expect. An apology? A threat? Maybe some kind of desperate plea? It was none of those. Here's what it said, word for word. "I'm not trying to start anything, but you deserve to know the truth. I wasn't the first. And I wasn't the only one. I was told you were separated. That you had been living apart for a while. He told me you were getting divorced quietly and didn't want to tell your kids yet because it would destroy them. I didn't believe it at first. But then he showed me texts, emails, stuff that made it sound real. He never wore a ring. I only found out the truth 2 weeks ago, and when I confronted him, he said he would handle it. That's when things got weird. He started acting distant. Then Friday happened. I didn't know you'd be there. But I'm not the villain here. He's been seeing someone else too. Her name is Chelsea, yeah, but also someone named Doreen. And I think there might be more. He said things to all of us. The same things. I'm sorry. I wish I'd trusted my gut. I hope you get away from him while you still can. I read it 3 times. Doreen? Who the hell was Doreen? I didn't even know where to begin. My whole body felt like it was buzzing with fury and confusion and exhaustion. I forwarded the message to myself. Then I looked back through that secret Gmail account. It took a while, but eventually I found her. There she was. Doreen J. The emails went back almost 6 months. One thread had the subject line, "Can't stop thinking about Saturday night." I opened it. It wasn't even subtle. They had a whole weekend together. A cabin rental in Lake Texoma. The kind of trip we used to take before kids. Before life got complicated. He used our old anniversary spot. And in one of the emails, a photo of them at the lake, smiling like nothing mattered. He told her he was starting over soon. He told her he was almost free. He told her I was sick. Sick. Not just separated. Not just emotionally distant. He told Doreen that I had serious depression and couldn't function anymore. He said I was sleeping all day, barely eating, and couldn't even remember the kids' birthdays. He said he was carrying the whole family and couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't believe what I was reading. He had used me, lied about me, painted me like some hollow version of myself to make himself look noble, like some poor, broken man stuck in a sad marriage with a fading wife. He used my real struggles. Yes, I had a bad year after my mother died, but twisted them into something monstrous. I felt nauseous. And then I saw it, an appointment confirmation. Marriage counseling. But not with me. He had booked couples therapy with Doreen. He was trying to fix that relationship while burning down ours. And it got worse. When I checked our shared finances again, I dug deeper this time. I found a payment to a law firm in February. A retainer. Under his name only. He'd already talked to a divorce lawyer. He'd been preparing. But not to fight for us. To leave me. Quietly. Slowly. While setting up his next chapter with someone else. He was going to discard me. But I messed up his plan. By showing up. By recording it. By not staying in the dark like he counted on. I sat there at Melanie's kitchen table, eyes wide, laptop open, rage boiling in my chest. She came over, saw the screen, and just said, "He's a coward." I nodded. But that wasn't all. When I went back to the email from Rachel, I noticed she had attached something. I hadn't opened it before. It was a voice memo. I clicked play. And there it was, Mark's voice. "She's checked out, Rachel. She doesn't care anymore. She's like a ghost. I don't even think she'd notice if I packed my bags and left. Once the house sells, I'll be free. I'm working on it. Just be patient. Trust me. She'll be fine." He was going to sell our house. My house. The one I painted, cleaned, cooked in, raised our babies in. He'd already had a real estate agent come by for a valuation meeting. I found the email later. He was going to blindside me. Probably serve me papers after the kids left for college. Or after our daughter's birthday. Or maybe on some random Tuesday when he knew I'd be home alone. That was his plan. I was never supposed to find out. But I did. And now? I don't know exactly what I'll do. But I do know one thing. He made one mistake too many. I didn't sleep that night. I stared at the ceiling of my sister's guest room while the fan buzzed overhead, thinking of every moment, every lie. It was like playing back your whole life and realizing someone had been holding a knife behind their back the entire time. By morning, I knew what I had to do. I wasn't going to sit in silence. I wasn't going to let him rewrite the ending of my story. So I called Mark. Told him to meet me at our house that afternoon. I said the kids would be there too. He hesitated. Asked why. I said, because we're doing this with the lights on. No more secrets. No more acting. We met in the living room at 3 p.m. Tyler sat on one end of the couch, arms crossed. Emma was next to him, looking confused but tense. Melanie was there too, standing in the corner like a silent wall of support. Mark walked in wearing a button-up shirt and that fake calm face he always used when he was about to spin a lie. I didn't let him start. I stood up and played the voice memo first. Rachel's recording. Loud. Clear. His voice echoed in the room. She's like a ghost. I don't even think she'd notice if I packed my bags and left. Once the house sells, I'll be free. The kids froze. Tyler's jaw clenched. Emma's eyes filled with tears. Then I opened my laptop, pulled up the emails, the photos, the hotel receipts, the cabin trip, the dinner in Chicago, the therapy appointment with Doreen. I said, if you've got anything to say, now's your one chance. Mark looked cornered, sweat on his forehead. His hands trembled. He opened his mouth, and what came out wasn't denial, it was worse. He said, I wasn't happy. I haven't been for a long time. I didn't know how to say it without breaking everything. Then he turned to the kids. I love you both more than anything. But your mom and I, we haven't been close for years. Tyler stood up so fast the couch shifted. Don't you dare blame Mom. You're the one sneaking around. You're the liar. Emma started crying. Mark took a step forward, but Melanie blocked him. You've said enough. He looked at me then. For the first time, really looked at me. And I saw it, the fear, the regret, the realization that the house of cards had collapsed. He whispered, I never meant for it to get this far. I laughed, but it came out like a choke. You had plans to move on, Mark. You had timelines, counseling sessions with other women, and you were going to serve me divorce papers after selling the house out from under me. You meant for everything. You just didn't mean for me to catch you. Mark left that night. He packed a single bag and left the rest. Tyler slammed the door after him. Emma didn't speak for hours. She just curled up on the couch and held my hand like she was 6 years old again. That night, I lay in bed with her. She asked me, were you happy with him, Mom? And I said I thought I was. But I think I was just busy surviving. Word spread fast. Family found out. His own mother called me crying. I don't know what's wrong with him, she said. I raised him better than this. He tried texting. Apologies. Promises. Long, rambling messages. I didn't respond. Instead, I called the lawyer again. Moved forward with filing. Locked down the house in my name. Froze the joint accounts. I found a counselor. Not for him, for me. And the kids. Rachel emailed once more. Said she was sorry again. Said she hoped I destroyed him in court. And maybe I will. But that's not what this is about anymore. It's been 3 weeks. I've started sleeping again. Eating again. Breathing again. Sometimes I feel angry. Other times numb. But every now and then, when I'm driving or doing laundry or just sitting with a cup of coffee, I feel this strange, quiet peace. Like something heavy has been lifted, even if it left bruises behind. I look back and wonder, how did I miss the signs? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just didn't want to believe them. I gave my heart to someone who chipped away at it piece by piece while smiling in my face. But here's what I know now, I'm still standing. He tried to erase me. But I was always the one holding this family together. He just got good at pretending. I don't know what comes next. Maybe one day I'll trust someone again. Maybe not. Right now, I'm focused on rebuilding. For me. For my kids. For the life I still deserve. If you're reading this and you've been lied to, betrayed, made to feel small, you're not alone. You don't need them to fall apart. You just need to walk away with your head high. As for Mark, he can build his new life on a foundation of lies. But I have something better. Truth. And peace. And the strength to never be blindsided again.